peeps, happy Thursday. Welcome back to my bedroom. I have been getting asked this question repeatedly and there's a lot of new subscribers here, so it doesn't surprise me. The question is, where do you store all the things that you make? You make so many things, your wardrobe must be massive, where do you keep it all? So I thought I would show you. Now behind me we have 2 meters of wardrobes from IKEA. They're the 50cm wide ones because for some reason the 1 meter wide ones weren't available. I have got 3 of the 50cm doors on, and then there's like a little gap there, which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either. I don't mind it. And that's where I keep the majority of my long hanging things, my dresses. I then have shoes in the thinner wardrobes. These are IKEA, it's all IKEA basically. These are the thinner Pax wardrobes, so they're 35cm deep. I have my shoes in there, and then I have a whole bunch of drawers, which is where I store my lingerie, sleepwear, jumpers, things like that. So I am going to show you those in a little bit more detail. But one of the weird things about my room when we moved in is, see if I can turn you around. The bedroom came with these half-height wardrobes installed. Our house is on a hill this way, which means we have a flat garden, but we have basically a 3-story house, although there's only one set of stairs. Technically there's a switchback stair in it, but we have a lower ground floor, the ground floor, and then the floor that I'm on. Technically it's a 3-floor house, but it looks like a 2-floor house if you're looking at it from the outside because we are on a hill. So we've got some really weird roof structures as well, and these wardrobes are built into the roof structure, and what underneath is mum's walk-in wardrobe, which used to be a kid's bedroom with a skylight. I have all this storage too as well. Loads and loads of people keep asking me where I store all of my clothes. Believe it or not, they all fit, and believe it or not, I actually have room for more clothes to be put in there because I have changed shape quite a lot since I started sewing this time round. I think I've been sewing like prolifically for about 7-8 years now. When I started I was a lot smaller than I am now, so a lot of the clothes that I have previously made just don't fit me anymore. So they're all in storage, and I have an ottoman bed so the mattress lifts up. I have storage under there for 2 boxes full of clothes. The IKEA boxes, I think it's 2. In fact no, it's 1. And then I have 2 more of those boxes in these wardrobes, which again I will show you as we go. You know, I do have a lot of clothes that aren't actually hung up anywhere, but that's because they don't fit me at the moment. I am keeping them because I've culled a lot, but I'm keeping the ones that I really love in the hopes that one day I may fit into them again. So I'm going to show you my long hanging stuff first. You're currently in Chiana's cat tree. I'm going to move you over to the shoes. We'll have a look at where I keep all my clothes and how many clothes I actually have. And don't worry, Chiana does judge me. In fact, I'm going to start over here. So these are the Pax wardrobes. This one is 1 meter wide and it's 35cm deep. These ones here are 55cm deep. I think I have that right. I went for wardrobes here rather than bookshelves the whole way across because I wanted to have drawers. So I have one of their accessory drawers with all of my belts. This is my lingerie drawer, so I won't show you that one. We have swimwear and sleepwear in this one. Next, socks and tights and fancy tights. All of the very lovely jumpers that I own. Majority of these are knitted by mum. I think these 2 here and these 2 at the end are shop bought, but those 3 and those 2 are knit by mum. Then we have my collection of basically, I think it's McCall's 7634. I went through and picked out all of my fancy sweatshirting and made these up, and I love them. We've got a Sheridan and a toaster, and then these are shop bought here as well. I haven't had to reach for these for a while, but I do very much like having fancy loungewear. And then this final one are my shop bought jeans and my gym kit down the bottom there. So as I mentioned, I have 2 meters of wardrobes across here, 50cm wide each. They did do a corner option, but you ended up losing about 10 centimeters of storage, and I don't mind how this looks. I would like to try and work out if I can get a door made for this with a carpenter, but it's not a high priority. I have my tall boots down there. Lots more of my boots kind of live down here, along with Chiana and my jewelry. That's my hair scrunchie. All my hair scrunchies there. I put some of my bags on display, and then more shoes over there, and then this is actually full of tech stuff, hair products, scarves and gloves, and then that top one is empty. I do have an empty drawer. Anyway, back around to here. So this is my super long hanging stuff, so jumpsuits and my maxi dresses, and up until about here fits me, and then all the stuff back here are like my bridesmaid's dress. This is a silk dress from Zara. This is a silk dress from Florida. Mum's Aussie Clark dress. There's some stuff back there that doesn't fit me, probably never will fit me again, but it's too precious for me to get rid of. I'm going to try and find some room for you in the shoe cupboard so that I can open this and show you what I'm dealing with. I went for mirrored doors because it reflects all of the light, and as you can see, I have painted my room a really dark colour. Personal preference, I wanted navy. I knew there was a lot of white furniture going in here. I am going to be doing like a how I made over my room video. I've got one thing left to do before I can properly put it out, which is wallpapering, and I'm terrified. And I was going to do like a wardrobe tour at the same time, but I thought I would do it separately because if I did both together it would end up being a really long video. So this is my first hanging wardrobe. These are the 2.36 m tall, so I went for the tallest I could get. Thankfully in this room we could build those lying down and tip them up in the wardrobe room downstairs, which there is a video coming for that as well. We had to build them upright because there was like a 2 cm clearance, so that was fun. I've done the same thing that I did in my last place, and I have put command hooks on the backs of the doors to store my jewellery. In the last place I also papered these with Gil Elfgren prints, and I really want to do the same thing, but it took me forever. I used spray glue, which you need a ventilated area for, so it might happen at some point, but I needed to store my jewellery and I couldn't wait to get that done, so jewellery is up. This works really well for me. I really like how this looks. I can see all my jewellery. I have a lot of jewellery. I don't need this much jewellery. I like how this looks because I can put things together really easily, and you know, so I've got my bracelets, my finer chains. These are my ankle chains. These two pieces go together. They're from Lanzarote, and these are the bigger collars that I have. So the actual wardrobe itself, my slips on a couple of hangers there. I've got my grace dress. So we've got kind of like my cotton dresses up to here. So I've got some shirt dresses, Anna dresses. I have my first ever dress that I made when I got back into sewing this time around, which like I said was about 7-8 years ago. This does not fit me anymore, but it was the first dress that got me back into sewing. Is the By Hand London Anna dress. I also passed my driving test in this dress, so it's something that I will keep forever because it's just a really, like, it's a sentimental piece of clothing. I know you're not meant to keep sentimental pieces of clothing, but yeah, maybe this one should be in that wardrobe, but it's here. Got my Dolce & Gabbana parrot, there you go, parrot dress. We've got some McCall's 7537s, the two of those that I've made. I need to make more of that pattern. I love it. It's more of an autumn pattern, so it's going to be coming up. This is a wrap dress from McCall's. We've got Butterick 5209, all my Butterick 6380s there. Then the two McCall's 7319 jersey dresses. And if I tip you back, you can just about see up there is one of the IKEA boxes. They are literally made of fabric and they are perfectly sized. So this is the 50 cm by 55 deep, because these wardrobes are 60 deep. There you go. They're perfectly sized for up there, and that has my scuba dresses in it, which I will transfer down and put into one of the empty drawers. As I say, I have got an empty drawer when it comes time to wear them, but for the current, I'm hot in a cotton dress, so the idea of putting scuba on in this weather does not appeal. So my scuba dresses are all up there, safely stored, ready to go for the autumn winter season when that comes around. I may take some of these out and store those, some of my more summery dresses, but I'm a little bit loath to do that because the majority of them are viscose and I don't want to have to iron them when I bring them out next spring or summer. So I'm gonna just come back a little bit and show you this, like an overview of this. So as you can see, there is lots of room in this wardrobe. I mean, I do like big skirts, so you know, it is full, but there's definitely room for more clothes. I have my laundry basket down the bottom and then some more of my boots. So that's wardrobe number one. I don't know where I'm going to put you for this one. Maybe down here? That kind of works, doesn't it? Again, it's not the most flattering of angles to be filmed from, but never mind. So I've done the same thing. I've got jewellery on the backs of both of the doors. This is my Vogue 8577 collection. We've got more shirt dresses here. Then we've got my Eve collection, then slightly longer, you know, just sort of miscellaneous dresses in here as well. This one's definitely more full. There is room up there to put some more stuff in, but not a lot. I do acknowledge that. Again, this is kind of my, I try to put them together in patterns so that if I'm looking for an 8577 I know where they are, and then sort of like shirt dresses go next to it because that makes sense to me. So that's that wardrobe. And then this one here, as you can see, is a lot more empty. There's a lot of empty hangers up there. And this is all the stuff that I have made and haven't yet done a lookbook for. So this is all the recent dresses. We've got the 2 Grace dresses in there, the lemon and the brassica. We've got the tops, the waistcoats, the shirts, the Eve dresses, I should say. Everything in here, as I say, is to be filmed. So once these have been filmed, I then feed them through into the other wardrobes. I'm not going to be able to sustain this for much longer. As you've seen, these 2 wardrobes are pretty full, but that is kind of something that I've been enjoying doing, having the room to do that. I think you can just about see this one is a little bit sort of, the shelf comes up a little higher. Really quickly showing you the bottom of the wardrobes. So I have 3 of the wire baskets in this side with a shelf and then nothing here. What I had intended was that these 3 would be in the 3 wardrobes along here, but I hadn't reckoned on buying a shelf for the top of all of them, so I put 3 here together, which is okay, but they do catch on each other. So at some point I am going to move these over, buy 2 more of these shelves so that I have more long hanging space, and I can put my boots like I've done here. I can just put those on the shelf up and then put my ballet flats, of which I have more, into these wire baskets on the floor of each of these, because at the moment this one does have a, you know, the Eve dresses aren't quite short enough to go in there, so I'm just going to change that around a little bit too. I've got shelves at the top of both of these as well, which have got my winter dresses in them. The scuba dresses are up there. Also my seriously thick winter scarves and gloves and stuff, which I will try and find room for at the she can't help it. There's an empty cupboard. She must get into it. Yeah, I'm going to try and find room for all of those when the season comes around, and I'll probably need to rejig some stuff. But my shelves, my drawers the other side aren't perfectly organised as yet. There's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't need to be in there, and there's a tech drawer that could totally live somewhere else. So I have some room to play around with. But yeah, so that's the 2 meters of wardrobes along the back of my bedroom. Next up we have these wardrobes, as I mentioned, that are half height that go along here. There were loads of ways I could have organised this room, but I wanted to maximise the amount of storage that I had on the 2 walls that had nothing else going on them. So we had these wardrobes on one, window on the other. The previous owner had their bed on the opposite side to these, and they had a bed that the TV popped out of the end. You can't have a bed with a footboard on it and be able to see the TV, because the TV needs to go underneath these, because otherwise you can't open the wardrobe doors. That was a consideration, but I decided that I wanted to put mine this way around because I don't mind having to jump on my bed to get into these middle ones. And I bought a little step ladder so that I could get into the other ones, because the rail on these is really high. So I'm going to try and open them all and show you what I'm dealing with. Shiana is immediately trying to get into them. Not even trying, she will get into them. So they do have lights. This is my half height hanging solutions. So I have all my skirts here and all my cardigans here. I have a Chiana escaping back there. I have all my t-shirts here, and these are my woven tops. This box here is full of my old woven clothes that don't fit me anymore, that are too tight for me, too small for me. As I said, I have 4 of these boxes, 3 of which are full. So there's one there, and then there's 2 under the bed, one of which is empty. And then this one down here, we have my short jackets and short coats, a cat, my luggage, other bits and pieces in there as well. These go back really far. There are also kind of my kitchen storage boxes behind this, so these go back a long way. I don't know if it's going to be clear, but this one also has my trousers in it, but this one is practically empty. So this one, the t-shirt side is full, the woven top side, there is plenty of room in there. This one is full, and I haven't edited my skirt collection. There's skirts in there that do not fit me. I just haven't got around to editing that one down, and I really ought to, because it is very full and I do want to make some more skirts. I used to have it the other way around. I used to have my skirts in the middle here and jumpers and t-shirts in here, but the jumpers were over, and this kind of goes back as well past the door, so it's quite a wide closet, this one. A lot of people were also saying that I should get those hooks, or those rails that you can hook and bring down, because they're so high, which would work for this middle one, but it wouldn't work for either of the other 2, because the rail actually goes way further into the cupboard than the doors open. There is a lot of clothes in here, I acknowledge that, but there's also a lot of space. Let me move you over to the other shoe rack so I can show you a little bit more detail this one, or maybe not even the other shoe rack. but we have a Chiana. So as you can see, I've got my trousers hanging there. I've got all of this empty space here. Back there is the quilt that I'm still needing to finish quilting. There's a giant suitcase underneath that, my Luna bag, my toiletries bag, the flower arrangement that I did, gym equipment's there, that's my laptop bag. They go far back, so I've got some other bags stored in here. Got my sort of jackets, denim jackets, smarter jackets, leather jackets up here, and as you can see the rail goes to the side. So there's lots and lots of storage in these, and again this one is full of clothes that don't fit me anymore but I'm not willing to get rid of just yet. Overall, hello, there is a lot of stuff in here. You're back in the cattery. So yeah, there is a lot of, I have a lot. I'm not trying to say that I don't have a lot of clothes. I do have a lot of clothes. It is my job to make clothes and show you guys clothes and fabrics and how I make them and any tips and tricks that I pick up along the way. So I have more clothes than anyone needs. I acknowledge that. I love clothes. I've always had more clothes than anyone needs, even when I was buying clothes. I would say the majority of my wardrobe now, probably 90% me made, the rest shop bought, maybe slightly higher into the 90s percentage wise. I don't think I'm ever going to have a 100% me made wardrobe, and I wasn't including lingerie in that because none of my lingerie at the moment is me made, although that is something I would like to get into. But the majority of it is going to be me made for the rest of my life. I can't see myself falling out of love with sewing. I do have room for more stuff, as you've seen, which is great because I am trying to rebuild my wardrobe. As I mentioned, I've grown out of a lot of stuff. I have put on nearly 2.5 stone since I started doing this. I cannot squeeze myself into my previous makes. If I could, then this situation would be a lot different. I would be struggling to fit anything new in. We've seen the amount of fabric I have, so there's a lot of new potential clothes in that sewing room. I don't fit into those things, so I do need to make some new clothes. Again, like I say, I have enough now that I could clothe myself and not need new clothes, but I enjoy making new clothes. I want to try and round out my wardrobe. Beforehand I had a lot more trousers and shirts and things like that. Those things just do not fit me anymore. The trousers that I've shown you are all wraparound trousers or elasticated wide leg trousers, one of which actually doesn't fit me, but I refuse to get rid of it because it is a gorgeous print from Next. It was a ready to wear thing, so I'm hoping I might slim back into that one day. But yeah, I've had to get rid of a whole bunch of things because they just don't fit anymore, so I need to make new things to round that wardrobe out. Because yes, I can wear dresses every day, yes I probably will wear dresses most days, but I do want to have variety and options, which is why I have just featured the Savannah capsule collection, showing you how rounded I want to try and make my wardrobe by adding in tops and trousers with some dresses and some skirts. But yeah, variety. I am looking to add some variety to my wardrobe. But yeah, I hope that answers the question of where I store all my stuff. I think I've got some good storage solution answers in here. I went for as many storage solutions as I could possibly find, like the ottoman bed. I was determined. It was way more expensive. It was twice the price of the same bed frame as just a bed frame, but it's a king size bed, so that's a lot of storage space that I have gained underneath of that. I'm keeping my peacock cushions and like winter bedding and stuff in there as well as a box of clothes, and then an empty box for more kind of, again, if I need to rotate my spring summer wardrobe out, then I'll have room to do that with the boxes that are at the top of this wardrobe. So I have tried to be smart about the storage solutions that I picked for this room, and IKEA is one of the places that just, you know, they make life easy for storage, definitely. So I'm very pleased with how it's come out. As I said, the only thing that I've got left to do is wallpaper the back of this wall, or these units here, and I'm terrified about it because I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to get to that eventually. I've got the wallpaper. It's got leaves on it. I mean, is anyone shocked? And the navy blue of my painted walls is actually the navy blue from here, so it's going to tie in really nicely. Lots of people were saying that I shouldn't do it, but it's something that I want to try. I've done it before in a previous bedroom I decorated, and I loved how it looks, so I'm going to give it a go with this. Although I did have a professional decorator to do it for me, which I wish I had this time. Might save up for that next. My big winter coats are in the wardrobe room downstairs, along with all the other coats, mum and dad's coats as well, and then we have a wardrobe for guest coats when they come round as well. I haven't taken any wardrobe storage away from mum, don't worry. But my big coats live down there because otherwise I'd have to smoosh them into one of these wardrobes, and I really wouldn't have any more room to play around then, which I'm very grateful for that extra space. So yes, This is where I store my clothes. I really hope you've enjoyed the video and the quick look around my room, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any storage suggestions that I hadn't thought about, because I'm always up for hearing about new clever ideas. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!